Ooh, I'm live. I'm alive. There's 1 like and 0 views. Hmm. Weird. 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 Hello and welcome back, my Zackles, to another live stream of Minecraft 1.15.2 Vanilla. One moment, I just inhaled too sharply. That doesn't make sense. You ever have those moments where, like, you have saliva in your mouth, and then you try to breathe in, and it hurts. That's very awkward when it happens. Anyway, so today on this exciting journey, adventure thing, this is not Journey Across the Void. That's our modded series, which, if you are interested, it will be it's on my channel. You just click the channel page after the stream, and then you go there and you watch all the videos and like them and comment how much you like them, because you're good people. Also, I have a Discord and it's linked in the description, and you should join that, because that way we can get some chat popping and some people talking, and you can tell me how much my builds are terrible and that they're never finished, and stuff like that. Normal stuff. I definitely didn't just do that. And yeah, so Corey's here, which must mean that it is. Oh, we need to go this way, guys. Ta-da! I can navigate my house. This is trippy. It is so weird when your controls are reversed. Like when you're walking forwards but you're looking backwards. Yeah, it's weird. Okay. Anyway, no, the mountain's not done. Don't ask. And I won't tell. Yeah. We are going to do some exciting things, but first, let me show you my front garden. Oh yeah, this is all that you want. Another tree, some rocks, some bushes, flowers and lamps and paths and I was about to say frogs, but that's not a thing. More trees, lamps, things. Buttons on top of the posts to stop spawning. Panda. Hello, immature or artist or whatever you want to be called nowadays. Nothing happened here. Nothing. You don't remember anything happening there, but I do have all of my tools and equipment back, and they're all exactly how they were. I even have a helmet, believe it or not, and we are back to where we were before last episode derailed everything. So I meant to come up with a plan. I meant to do a lot of things, but then things didn't happen that way. It's beginning to look a lot like mountain. I'm trying to think of words that would fit the tune and have the right amount of syllables, and none come to mind, so I'm just going to ignore it. We have the flower pots of doom. We have the floating island of doom. Stone of doom. I went through at least one shulker. I didn't realize wolves spawned on my island. But anyway, I got 3 elytras all fixed. One more part to go. I have 3 fortune and 3 silk and some extras and whatnot. And I got everything back to where I was. I have my smite sword, my actual sword, the Deli Wabbler, which has looting 3 now. So it is literally the perfect sword. because there's nothing else you can get on a sword as far as I'm aware, so it's the perfect sword. I needed food, that's why I opened this originally. Let me get some food, and then we can get crack-a-lackin' at whatever we're doing. Isn't of Doom Iskel's thing? Well, yes, but I've been calling these flower pots the flower pots of doom since somebody called them that in chat. Sue me. This mountain is an Omega project. That's also an Iskel thing. Speaking of that server, I can't believe that Wells Knight came back to it. It's so exciting. But enough about that. I have, I believe, updated the map. So look, it's looking more and more like something instead of nothing. And man, it is toasty in my room. It is a warm day here in almost Canada. And with the heat, there comes the humidity, and the humidity is what kills. It's not the heat, it's the humidity, as the saying goes, I believe. What we haven't done in a while is actually update the map. So this is what it looked like before. Look, I haven't even, the house doesn't have another level with a pool thing on it. There's nothing there. The tree house isn't there. The bridge isn't made pretty. There's still a tree there, and yeah. So let's fix that right now. This is the wrong place. I'm sorry, all my places look the same. It's this one that has a little switch up in the corner. Why I have such a convoluted way to update my map, I don't know, but I like it. Now. That is a nice ceiling design. So underappreciated. There it is. We go like that. We go like that. Like that. And like... That one doesn't want to update. That. Okay. Better. Way better. Okay. And maps are such a funny thing in Minecraft because they don't like updating sometimes. But there it is. It's all nice and done. I only have this garden and that garden on the roof and that rooftop and that one. And then the house is done. My window's like all the way open just to try to keep it cool in here. And so there's going to be noises in the background. I apologize. In other exciting news, Minecraft Dungeons has released. No spoilers or anything, but it's a fun game. Like, I enjoyed it a lot. But I digress. I keep saying that we'll get a crack-a-lackin', but then we haven't, and it's now 8 minutes into the live stream. How about we do something? What do you want to see done today? Excluding the treehouse. Or anything. Because that's pretty much what we do. Nothing. We could tame a dog. Let me tame a dog real quick, because I haven't seen a dog spawn on my island before, and now it does. I guess I forget that they changed it to where dogs can actually spawn in forest biomes and not just taigas or mega taigas. Naturally, wolves spawn more frequently in those biomes, but I guess there's a chance. You're gonna be my newest dog. Come with me. In case you're wondering what the inside of a half-finished mountain looks like, it's this. Hello? Oh, there you are. Sit. Stay. Stay. Okay. So, I'm going to have to sleep a lot because I have not lit up the mountain. And so things can and will spawn, which is nifty. Okay. So I don't really have a building scheme or a particular way I'm building this. I just place blocks and hope it looks good. Occasionally I'll have a point that goes out a little bit and then one that goes in a little bit, and then yeah. One area that I'm concerned about is right here, because that is a 50, I think there's a 40 block gap, more or less, and I can go in a couple more blocks. So I'm going to do something special for that, but you'll have to wait and see. Isn't that right? And then I just run down here and place blocks and figure in what makes good things. Like, oh, I just barely missed it. Just barely missed it. Just something like that, I think. And then I think this will go like so. Oh, I missed a block. I'm sure there are different ways and better. So it gets steep, big yip. You talk to me like that again, punk. And I'll make sure you don't talk ever again. You talk to me again like that, actually, and I'll stop building. How does that sound? And we just want to make sure that this actually will take it down a block or two. Because you can't picture what this mountain's going to look like I can. And so that's the difference in what you see and what I see. So when I say, can you see what I see? I'm not singing a Christmas song. I'm just being blind. Anyway, on other news, I don't know if I have any. How's life? Oops. Okay. And then, you know, occasionally you gotta fly back and look at your work. Like, that's a bit flat-faced. So if you look over here, it's not a whole lot of flat faces like that. I mean, there are, but they just don't seem as noticeable. So I don't know what changed between me building that side and this side, but this side's a lot harder to make it look nice, I feel. Oops. Parkour. Can I? No. It helps if you jump. Okay, perfect. Building a mountain in survival or vanilla means a whole lot of space bar, which is exciting. Okay, I failed. So the mountain is like a third of the way done, and it's looking like a pile of stone, which I think is a good thing, but I don't know. Isn't this the most exciting content in the world? You're watching me place stone blocks repeatedly, building a mountain. Okay, I think we can go like this and then click here. And it is warm, like I said earlier. So if I say anything weird, or if I act weirder than normal, that's why. I don't like the heat that much. And it's kind of annoying. Just be sitting in a chair, in a room, in a house, and just sweating. Very satisfying. You know, it would be satisfying. Blowing it all up. I mean, I didn't say that. I would never. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to make a backup of my world recently. So, I'm going to have to do that at the end of the episode stream thing. So, if you could remind me, that would be most excellent. Okay, we're going to have to figure something out, because that's a flat angle. This is where the majority of my rockets get used, by the way. So, yeah. It's weird. You see so many geometrical patterns when you don't want them to be there. Like, just... it's just always an arrow. The base, I think I did pretty well on. Pulling it in and out and making it look natural and like it's been eroded. However, I just don't know about this side yet. But we'll see. By the way, did you know that the naming scheme for my streams is simply because I don't want to have to come up with a title every time? There are a few of them that have been titled, but the majority of them haven't, and I find that funny. It's just me being lazy, and somehow it seems to work occasionally. Alright. Click. So I'm going to run out of topic conversations really quickly. So, yeah. Yeah, it's exciting. I see. A topic to rant about? Wait, I'm not supposed to be giving you topics. You're supposed to be giving me topics. Because that's kind of what it's supposed to be. So we don't want that to be perfectly flat, because nature doesn't really have that many perfect edges. So we just got to keep that in mind. But I think this will work. It's just time and time and time and time and time and time and time. And then, you know, I could always just sit here all day and like, oh, I don't like that there or that there. That looks better. That looks better. Whether or not it actually looks better is debatable. But I feel like it is, so it has to be. Have I ever seen an anime? No. Not that I'm aware of. I have never willfully watched an anime. It's just not my thing. People have different things. It's just what it is. My God, she just got messaged. Okay. How do you know it's not your thing if you've never seen one? It's just the art style doesn't particularly appeal to me. Like, and when I think anime, I think I think of Japanese speaking, which it would be sub, not dubbed, and I just that doesn't appeal to me at all. To listen to people speaking in another language, and if you do dubbed, sometimes it doesn't come out right from what I've been informed of. However, I don't really care. It's a moot point. Maybe I'll watch anime eventually, maybe I won't. But it doesn't really matter. In the grand scheme of things. Yes, I got distracted because I got messaged because I'm famous. And we are actually up to, I think, 96. Let me click the right thing. 96 subs. So 4 more and we have 100. This is big news. No, there's not going to be anything special done for 100 subscribers. Maybe, I don't know. At least I don't have anything planned. Now, if we had 100,000 subs, that would be cool. So we just need to find 99,904. I know you can recommend some. It's just, I already have plenty of things to do. Or, I mean, I should say I have plenty of media to consume already. Because that's all that I do now. I work, I play Minecraft, and I watch YouTube or other forms of media. It's really a peaceful life. Can you tell I'm single? Or rather, I don't have, I don't have a lot of friends close enough to actually just spontaneously like, oh, let's go and hang out. Or I do, it's just Corona and all that, and I want to be careful with who I interact with, more for their safety than mine. If I could visit anywhere in the world, where would I go? That's a hard question. I want to travel, of course, but I know there's beautiful things everywhere if you look hard enough, but where do I actually want to go? It'd be either Denmark or Sweden, or both. Because Denmark has a lot of cool things in it. I'm not going to get into because personal information. Well, I'm not going to work on that right now. That looks tedious. Where would you go if you could visit anywhere in the world? I mean, personally, right now, I would rather just like not be anywhere but where I am, because anywhere colder than where I am right now. Because excessive summer heat is not my vibe. Caves. Dude, you are so specific, it's scary. I feel like this side's gonna slope a bit more gently. Because, like, that is rather far away. How did I get so far off center? So, in hindsight, if that had been pushed out a bit, that would be perfect. If this was pulled in a bit, well, it'll be a unique mountain, that's for sure. Favorite fictional character of all time? Well, favorite fictional character of all time? There's so many. I just don't know how to narrow it down. So, definitely gonna have that, just like, yeah, that's gonna need some work. That's a noof. I can't pick one. It's too hard. I'm vetoing this question. Corey, this is a you specific question. Do you know the name of my car? Like the name, not the model name, make, or whatever. Like the actual name, because my car has a name. I don't know if you know that, but I feel like you should. So we're gonna have to that is gonna not be like that. We're gonna have to make it a little bit smooth. Whoops. Okay, can I land correctly? How do you not? Well, it starts with a V. Ends with an N. Is 6 letters. Okay, so we're gonna have to flip the curve so it curves more like this than like this. So it goes like this more than this. That's gonna be tricky. Unless I make the top a bit bigger, but I maybe don't want to do that. Interesting. Oh, so just in case anyone's wondering, I did not name my own car. I did, but I didn't. It was given a name by a friend of mine, and it sticks. I don't know. This is why you pre-plan your massive projects, because that's going to go underneath. But the current trajectory is going to bisect it like that, which can't happen. So it's just going to be a divot in the mountain, I think. Would I ever ride a motorcycle? You don't drive motorcycles, you ride motorcycles. Get your parlance correct. And yes. Would you? Notice how you dodged my question. I even gave you massive hints, but hey, whatever. Also, funny story. There is a rather small YouTuber who named her a Volvo C30, which is 1 year newer than mine. The exact same thing. It's weird. But I digress. I want to know if you would ever ride a motorcycle. I'm curious as to what he's going to say. Definitely going to knock this down a few blocks. And then that needs to be Hello, water. I forgot you were here. You would never. Okay. What other questions do you have for me while I figure out graceful arches? I would do both. It's really funny because I have Optifine on. When there are mobs on that side of the mountain and you're on this side, when they burn in the sunlight, they illuminate the stone. It's quite hilarious. Like, yeah. Oh, so can you justify as to why you'd ride a motorcycle, which is inherently rather dangerous, or can be, over a helicopter, which statistically is less likely to severely injure you? You know, can you give me a reason? Because I'm very curious. Like, honestly, that seems like such a weird choice to make. I cannot believe that it's almost been 15 episodes since I started on the tower, which means that it has been exactly 15, I think, since I built the top of the mountain. Give a reason for why you'd ride a motorcycle before a helicopter, when motorcycles just inherently are more dangerous. Well, statistically. There are more motorcycle fatalities per year than helicopter. This tree is now dead. I just thought I'd point that out. Also, he must have force grown it because there's not enough sunlight to make it grow. But there are torches around. I guess it could grow. My chair is made of fake leather, which is why it's so noisy. But you can hear all of the moves. And so it gets warm and it doesn't breathe. So yeah. Slight fear of flying mostly when there's turbulence, and helicopters are made of pure turbulence. Motorcycles are just bikes with motors. That is not true. I mean, it's true to an extent that they're both two-wheeled methods of travel, modes of transportation, and that, yes, one has a motor and one doesn't, but there's a lot going on with motorcycles compared to bicycles. Plus, motorcycles can and have been proven to be faster than helicopters, which is just bonkers. Slight fear of flying, and I think you're just basing your opinion on seeing unsteadied helicopter footage. I do contradict everything you say with facts or opinion. That's because you say things based on opinion, and I try to say things based on fact, in my opinion. See what I did there? I feel like helicopters aren't all turbulence. But I don't know. Never been in one. Hopefully never will have to be in one for medical reasons. Which I feel is the only way that you, in particular, would be in a helicopter. I feel that this is such a tedious project that I'm getting so bored of it. Maybe you're wrong, that's rude to contradict everything someone says. Maybe it's rude to insult people's builds or try to tell them how to do things or give unwanted feedback and then fail to provide wanted feedback. I don't know. Could just be me though. Definitely didn't do that. No one will know. I forget that it does that. Yeah, you're sort of sick of arguing all the time. Dude, you literally told me, well, that these need to go. Didn't give an explanation to why. And then for the last 10 live streams, you keep pushing for the mountain to be live stream. And look what we're doing now. Can you tell it's a little frustrating? All I'm trying to do is have fun and play, and I'm not specifically just directing this at you. I just don't like being told that I'm doing things wrong because you don't like the way I'm doing things. And at the same time, you keep trying to explain to me how to play this game. And I feel like I've played it before. Like, I don't mind you giving constructive criticism, but dude, you've roasted me on everything from PvP skills to building decisions to pretty much everything. Like, it gets annoying, and that's why I do things the way I do. Like, I don't have a problem with you watching the stream. I don't have a problem with any constructive criticism. I don't have a problem with any feedback. It's just unnecessary to keep trying to push for something when clearly I know that it needs to be done like this. Or clearly I'm against doing it that way. Like getting rid of these. And then, like, you're so quick when I actually moderate my chat to be in the defense of the person I moderate. That gets frustrating too, because all I'm trying to do is make my chat nice and kind of friendly. And then I mute 2 people, I think. And both times you went to their defense before mine. That's where I'm coming from. Also, there's stuff here that needs to be filled in. You get what I'm saying? Like, I am being very real here. This is supposed to just be fun and me doing whatever and all that. And sure, I don't mind y'all chiming in and telling me what you think. But most of the time when I do ask for feedback, I don't get it, which is frustrating because I ask for it for a reason. And when I don't want it, or I'm really not feeling in the mood for it, then I get it, and it's infuriating. I just don't know another word to use. Yeah, like, I mean, I do insult you or whatnot, but I do try to, I don't mean it seriously. As for contradicting, I know a lot of things, or a little bit about a lot of things. So, like, motorcycles, I know that I've met some motorcyclists who would get very offended if you could just called it basically a bicycle with a motor. In fact, I've used that against them, you know. But that's all I'm saying. So you understand? I mean, in context, yeah. It looked like I just got rid of him because he laughed because I died in lava, but that wasn't true. And I mean, you did correct yourself when I showed you what it was all about. No. I didn't think I had spaces up here to spawn, but I guess I do. Okay, you need to die. Zombies in this game are stupid. I both love and hate knockback. What is that, a love-hate relationship? I believe it is. Ooh, a zombie villager head. Of course it's a nitwit. Look at this. This is a nitwit's head. That's a new one, I guess. Yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier. Those are dying creatures, zombies, and or something. I don't think I've ever silenced anyone for critiquing me. The two times, well, aside from jokingly muting you, the two times I've done it was a guy purposely going after another member of chat, and the other time was somebody just coming in and insulting everyone. And I'm fully aware that the internet is just full of critics. Why isn't there a rotten flesh block in this game? Like, what is it? Zombie Pigment Farm has, I think, I think it has 16 double chests, more or less, of rotten flesh in it. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, you can do, what are they called? Composters, and you can bone meal, but then I have a giant mob farm that also produces rotten flesh, and I think that has many, I don't know, how many did I do in that setup? I think it's either 4 double chests or 5 each. So I think 10? Yeah, and they're full. Like, rotten flesh is so useless. It's kind of like the poppies from Iron Golems. Just eventually you have too many of them and you can't do anything with it. And you just melt them. I feel like this game could do with a use for rotten flesh. Wait a minute. What are they, clerics? Can't you? Yeah. You can trade with clerics, I suppose. But that sounds boring. Like, really boring. Like, who likes clerics? Actually, they're like the third worst villager. Oops. Am I out of rockets? No, I'm not. Okay, I just didn't have it on the right thing. Conduit. Now, where were we? I don't know if I'm happy with that shape. Like this. Let's see, we got slow descent and then vertical. I feel like that's decent. This side's a bit steeper. So I guess this side could be shallower. Shallower. I mean that. Hi Harv. You missed a fascinating conversation. But anyway, I feel like this doesn't look great. I feel like it should be steeper and then slope. This is why I put off this project for so long. I'm too much of a perfectionist, and I could spend 100 episodes just building the mountain and making it look beautiful or perfect or whatnot, when all it really needs to do is exist. Which, I guess. This, okay. Maybe it's just the way I am. Well, then I'll see you in like 10, 15, maybe. So what's up, Harv? Anything interesting in the less than an hour since I've spoken to you? Oops. That's why I don't ever have rockets. Speaking of which, I need to refill my shulker box at some point, because it's almost empty, and when it's empty, bad things happen. So I want this to, maybe what I'll do is I'll do a slope and then a leveled off spot and erect a building and then do another slope. That could work. Because I have plans for what to do with the mountain other than making it look like a mountain and not some strange structure that's floating, defying the laws of gravity, which Minecraft clearly has because sand falls. Even though dirt would do the same, or grass would dip. Dirt would definitely fall exactly like sand. Unless it's compacted somehow and bound together, in which case you could do the same with sand. Maybe not to the extent, because sand's finer than dirt. I don't know. My brain hurts. I'm thinking too deeply about dirt versus sand in a video. Yeah, that was my voice just like dying, because that's what voices do, don't they? Just like die. So annoying. I think it's a personal problem. Wait, I grabbed a slab. Didn't I place the slab? Okay, I don't need those in my inventory anymore. That was not particularly legible, or what would it be? Intelligible? I don't know. Maybe. Oh, so? I both love and hate the fact that that's there. Harv, are you still here? Harv, you are not still here. I'm sad now. So sad. I should get better at streaming. Feed the pandas. I feel like I sound dead half the time. And I think that's true. Oh, okay. I was gonna tell you or show you or something. I don't remember. I was gonna do something. Oh, yes. What do you think of my front garden? Isn't it pretty? Got trees. Got rocks. Got bushes. And more lanterns because I'm addicted to them. It's a problem. That's why I like having Bubbles with me, because he livens things up usually. And we talked more. You like that front garden? Well, thanks for saying that, Alex. Because when Bubbles here, I have somebody to actually talk to. Like, chat, I talk to a lot. But Bubbles is actually somebody I can talk to in real time and actually, hear his voice. And so that gets me to actually respond better, I feel. Dead people usually don't speak. Dude, that is so true. But vampires are usually portrayed as silver-tongued and very intelligent undead creatures. Wait, dead? Undead. So undead means that they died, but then they undid death, which means that they're alive. Fun fact, vampires are alive. They're dead. But then I've also heard living dead used to describe it. That's a whole nother rabbit hole, because living dead is obviously an oxymoronical statement or expression, or what am I trying to find? Adjectives? I don't know. Description. Because you can't be dead if you're living, but you can't be living if you're dead. I don't know. It's like a circular question. Why did I do that? I don't need to sleep. I don't know what I'm doing. So vampires can speak, but they also aren't technically dead, I think. Anyway, what was I saying before I went off on random vampire tangent? I just heard the news that there's a new Twilight book in the works, so that's why I'm talking about vampires, because, like, I'm totally team... Oh no, what is it? Team Jacob. You know? Team Jacob over Team Edward. Or Edwin. I really don't want to know, but does anyone know who the guy vampire is in Twilight? I feel like it's Edward, but I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. I prefer the term deadened rather than undead. I think I agree. Yeah, okay. That's interesting. Getting distracted. Problems. Mostly because I'm getting distracted. I could have sworn I was talking about something that was actually mattered, and then I got onto the whole undead, living dead thing. If anyone knows, I don't think it matters anymore. If you forgot it, then it really doesn't matter, right? Wait, is that how the meme goes? Meme culture and me don't mix, I guess, because I can never keep them straight. It's an ever-evolving whirlwind of chaos. I think that's a good way to describe memes. Or if you pronounce it memes, I guess that's fine. I mean, it's really not, but who am I to stop you? Team Edward versus Team Jacob. You were forced to be well versed in your Twilight knowledge back in the day. Wait, how were you forced? Oh, so fun fact about this that only applies to me and Twilight. The car, apparently, I guess that Edward drives, I think that's his name, I'm gonna just stick with it, is a 2009 Volvo C30. So I drive that exact model of car just after it got facelifted. So I'm basically a Twilight fan. Basically. I think I should have more guest stars on live streams so that the days when Not Bubbles isn't here, I can have somebody who can, you know, liven things up, come from their own unique perspective on things. What does chat think? And by guest stars, I just mean a friend of mine or something like that. I'm not going to open it up to general viewership because that gets tricky because I don't know these people. I don't know all you people all that well, you know? But it could be interesting. Also, did you see, Harv, do you know how close we are to 100 subs? Like, we are almost at my goal of 1313 minus 1217. That's all we have to do. 1217. I just never realized how big Twilight actually was. I mean, I knew it was big, but like... So which one were you? Team Edward or Team Jacob? Oh, so I too would probably avoid the books because I don't think they're well written if the movies are anything to base off of. Not that I've seen the movies, I've just seen clips of the movies and I know the general plot. Okay, and do you have any suggestions? Like, we already have guest stars in the way of my dogs, occasionally. My neighbors, far too often. But they're unlisted, you know, unpaid voice actors. That's what we'll call them. Because you know what makes Minecraft all the better? Playing with people. You know what makes people better? Playing Minecraft. So, like, it's a win-win. I see this is an absolute win thing. Cool building. Thanks. It's some sort of mountain thing that has just... Why does everything I make end up in this state? I see. Harv, are you going to answer my question? If not, whatever. That wasn't my dog. Or was it? Oh, we went through another shulker box of stone. Cool. Do you want some stone? You look like a sad dog. Here, have a stone. Doesn't like my stone. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it all being the same building material kind of gets trippy because it all looks the same now. However, I do the halfway point during a building. Yeah, but then I feel like some of mine aren't even at the halfway point. Like, I don't feel like this is at the halfway point. I asked you for recommendations for people to guest star. If you have any. I'm open to almost any proposal. However, it doesn't mean I'll actually follow through with, or I'll actually do that thing, or whatever. What am I trying to say? Does anyone know? Because if you do... Jacobs, because I thought werewolves were better than vampires. Werewolves are cooler than vampires. Vampires are kind of creepy people. Things. Because, like, they sneak into your bedroom and suck your blood. At night. When you're all alone. Like, how creepy and weird is that? PewDiePie. Let me shoot him a text because all YouTubers have PewDiePie's number. He gives it to all of them. I think that might be a good idea. I'm such good friends with him, don't you know? I'm the inspiration behind his Minecraft series. You know, I was like, Pewds, bro, you just gotta, like, go for it, you know? And he just went for it. That's how he got over 100 mil subs. You know? I should point out that if anyone's joining at this point and out of context, that is all jokes, even though I don't sound like I'm being sarcastic or I'm joking. I promise it's just because my voice is flat and monotone as frick at times. The mountain, like, you gotta start somewhere. Why not here? There. Everywhere. Dude, I know it's not even summer yet, but I just want the summer to be over and it to be fall again so it can be cool. Either that or I should invest in some fans. That would be probably a wise investment. Wolf. Look at it. This is my favorite part of sleeping. Watching all the creatures, all the lights, and knowing that each one is a flaming zombie or skeleton, and then they extinguish. And it's like my favorite thing. Anytime now. Well, oh. There they go. That is amazing. That is fantastic. I thought I saw a ledge here that they could spawn on. Maybe it's just a trick of the lighting? I don't know. But I could have sworn that there was one. Yeah, I'm guessing it's just a trick of the lighting. But yeah, weird lighting effects. I think that may be Optifine doing that. Dynamic lighting. Or it could just be that Minecraft has light glitches. That's funky. What was I doing? I don't know where I got grass from, but okay. Does anyone here suffer from vertigo? Because if you do, my condolences, because it is stupid and frustrating at times. Like, I don't get that vertigo sensation often. But I had a concussion late last year, and that just like I don't know, it sucked for a while. And like, man, I'd look up and the world would start spinning. It's weird. Anyway, that's just a random thing that popped in my head because I was reminded of what reminded me of it. I don't know. Sometimes I just have things pop into my head because I'm a strange person, I guess is a good way to say it. Corey, I miss you. It's been 10 or 15. So, on the topic of Twilight, wasn't the plot that this teenage looking like 300-year-old vampire or 1300 I don't know, really old vampire started going to a high school and he met a chick in high school who he saved from a imminent bus crash because reasons, and he just like crushed it with his hands? Or am I thinking of something else? That just sounds really creepy. I don't understand how that's romantic. And then like they date and then she gets pregnant and what is it? He has to make her a vampire to save her because the half human, half vampire baby thing is killing her. It just sounds funky and not in a good way. Why was that a romantic book? It sounds like more like a horror story than anything. Not entirely happy with this area of the mountain. Like, okay. But that is the basic gist of it, right, Harv? And then they have other children, and then, like, werewolves show up, and they're... I don't even know. Oh, you're the new Corey? Well, he said he'd be back. I'm holding my fingers. I'm crossing my fingers. Twilight just sounds like, in that context, with that the plot described the way I did, which is probably not accurate. Don't get triggered. It really doesn't sound like an appealing book series. Also, it's kind of funny that the actor who played Edward, I don't even know his name, basically can't play anything else without people going like, oh, look, Edward. It's kind of the same with Daniel Radcliffe and Harry Potter. You just get famous for one character and then you play a different one, and then it's just, yeah. Being an actor must be weird. You're filling so many shoes. Like one yeah. Okay. I say that what I said was true. For sure. Where's Meow, I wonder? That Canadian has so many good ideas. He seems like a Twilight kind of person. I have no idea, actually. But like, I don't know. On the topic of bad books, I've once, what was it? It was a book assignment, and the very first sentence was, I think, 15 or so words long, and 13 of those were expletives. I don't know how. And then that's pretty much how the entire book went. And then I was supposed to present my thoughts and opinions and whatever. I'm not phrasing it right, but whatever. You get my drift. And I'm like, I didn't like the book because of this, or I liked it because of this. And I don't know about you, but like having a book with that excessive amount of obscenities is just so stupid and tedious to read that I gave up on the book. I didn't really read it, because you know how you can read some things and just you actually read it and get into it, and then you can read some things and just instantly forget it, you know, nothing memorable, or you didn't care enough to actually read it. That's pretty much what I did with that book. But I don't know, it's weird. Another bad book series, or interesting book series, is The Hunger Games. Game of Thrones. And I'm pretty sure everyone knows what Game of Thrones is, but like, the show wildly, what is his name? Martin J. whatever. He's got an interesting mind. Supposedly there's 2 more books in that series coming out eventually. I think that's what I was told by a friend. Either way, weird. A lot of book series are weird like that. I just need to, cool off. Because I'm clearly rambling because I have my very expensive space heater right next to me, and it really warms up rooms on top of the already kind of warm air temperatures, and the fact that there's not air moving in my room, it just all compounds to being sweaty. And then trying to form actual clear sentences and make my point briefly. I'm not very good at that to begin with, and it's worse now. What other terrible book series have you all read, or not read, or whatever? Because I know that I've read terrible books and terrible book movies. book series. But usually, yeah, that's what it felt like with that book. Like, there was no need. It didn't contribute to the story at all. I don't even remember what it was about or the name. That's if that's the only thing that sticks with me about a book, I don't think it's that great of a book. I'm not gonna lie. But who knows? Like, I've read books where there's some obscenities or violence, but like they fit. They aren't just thrown in there just haphazardly, just as basically filler words. I don't know though. I'm not an author. I'm not in English. I mean, I'm a student of English because it was part of my high school curriculum and all that. But like, I'm not that deep into writing and the inner details of books, and yeah, I don't even know what I'm trying to explain. All I know is that I'm not good at it. I think my heat addled, tired brain is melting. Like, I'm reading a book right now called The Name of the Wind, I believe. Um, who's it by? It's actually right over here. Let me fetch it. It just requires moving some things, making some noise, dropping some things. Okay. It's called The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. Rothfuss. It's about 600 page, 700 page, fictional fantasy novel. And The Dungeon. I've never heard of that one. It's it pulls you in. Like, it's got action in the first couple of chapters, and then it's basically a guy. It's set in the present and the past. So in the present, the guy is going about his life, and he's famous, but he's hiding, and not. And then this guy comes who is famous for writing stories and all that. He comes and finds the guy, and then makes him tell his story. And so he does. And I think there's a couple more books. This is a part of a book series, but I don't know for sure. Aspects of it are just plain bad. Interesting. Anyway, my point was that is an example of what I think is a good book. You know. It's called the Kingkiller Chronicle. There's The Name of the Wind, The Wise Man's Fears, The Doors of Stone. So I guess it's a whole book series. Interesting. So there's 2 actual in the series and then 3 other books. One of which is edited by George R.R. Martin. Interesting. Yeah, it's a story within a story, and inside the story within a story, there's further stories told by characters that are the main character interacted with during that time in his story, and yeah, it kind of goes like Arabian Nights on you, and that I feel like that's a good way to explain it because it's Arabian Nights is many stories inside a story. Um, but then there's a whole nother layer of complexity, and yeah, it's very interesting. I'm about halfway through it. I started reading it on Saturday. When I had a late night Saturday because I was out about until midnight, you know, hanging with friends and all that, and then I got back and I saw that book and I was given it for Christmas, so Christmas 2019, and I started reading it, and then a few hours passed and it was like 2 a.m. and I went to bed, and I was very enthralled in the book. Like it hooked me. Then again, it does appeal to what I want to see. Canterbury Tales. I mean, I guess they're basically the same thing. Which one came first, I wonder? Anyway, that I feel like it's a good book. Sorry, I keep moving because my mic's not in the right spot. So I'm trying to read the chat and I had to move my head and all that to actually see it. So that's why my voice changed. Like there's a lot of difference from me talking like this right into the mic and looking away and talking. Like you can still hear me, but I feel like there's a difference. But what do I know? I'm not a super crazy person. What am I trying to say? I'm not super technical about such things. But yes, if you get a chance, I think that would be a good read. But it's probably more focused towards a slightly older audience, than teenage. Yeah, I wouldn't exactly call it a teen book, but maybe. It's got a beautiful paragraph. Yeah. It's I have stolen princesses back from sleeping bearer kings. I burned down the town of Trebon. I have spent the night with Feliran and left with both my sanity and my life. I was expelled from the university at a younger age than most people are allowed in. I tread paths by moonlight that others fear to speak of during day. I have talked to gods, loved women, and written songs that make the minstrels weep. You may have heard of me. I believe it's pronounced, the main character's name is pronounced Kvothe. Kvothe. But, yeah, I think that's what the book said. For me, it's really hard to think of what those names are actually pronounced like without actually looking them up. Then again, I just struggle with pronouncing words. Hey, Corey, we're talking about books and bad books and good books because Twilight. And then, yeah, things kind of digressed. And now we're talking about good books. For example, this one that I'm reading currently is called The Name of the Wind. Did you come in right when I was quoting that paragraph? Like that, I feel like that's a good start, a good paragraph to start up the story, because it hooks you and compels you and interests you in what those things mean, and all that. Okay, this is too flat, I feel. Yes. Rothfuss? I don't know. Yes, it is. It's part of his Kingkiller series. Kingkiller Chronicles. Which currently has 2 novels, and then about it, the main part. And then 3 spin-off. I don't even know if you want to call them spin-offs. They're set in the universe, but they're about other characters other than the main one. I don't know what you would call that. But I don't know. I find it to be a very compelling read currently. Bad books. Cursed Child. Don't think I've heard of it. Ready Player One. Interesting. I've never read it, but I do know what it is. Bluest Eye. I don't think I've heard of that one. I just have the first book that was given to me by my sister. And I finally started reading it last weekend. I mean, he is only 46, so he has, in theory, has plenty of time, you know, to get around to it. Ready Player One is amazing. I have no weight in this conversation because I have not read that book. Ready Player One, Ready Player One, Ready Player One. The Harry Potter play. Ready Player One is steeped in liberal agenda. Bluest Eyes by Toni Morrison is not an enjoyable read. I see. I see where you're coming from, I guess. Not really. Well, actually, no, because I don't. I haven't read any of those books. Yeah, I imagine. So I guess what Harv is saying, it's a good book despite the message it gave. And Corey's agreeing that it is a good book. He just doesn't like the fact that the message is so pointedly liberal, I guess. I don't know. That's my take on that. You know, have either of you, heard of the Dragons in Our Midst series? I'm just curious because I've actually owned that series and the one that's supposed to follow it, the Oracles of Fire, I believe, for a long time. And yeah, I mean, who's that even by? I don't even remember. Somebody. In fact, where are those books? I have too many books. I don't know where they are. Yeah, there's somewhere. It I've actually never read the Dragons in Midst. I've read the one that's both set before, during, and after it, the Oracles of Fire. Which, spoilers, if you remember, it's basically the final book ends with all the main characters getting married. And I was aware that there was a third trilogy. I just haven't ever seen any of them, anywhere. Like, it's a good faith-based book series. Really preachy. Wasn't it about two of the main? Isn't the third series about two of the main characters from? There's some yapping dog outside. About the the children of some of the main characters. I thought that's what it was about. Or I think I would recommend doing it, but I can't because I haven't actually read them. I forgot to silence my phone. So I guess it's a matter of opinion as to whether or not Ready Player One is a good book. But you can agree that it was very preachy, I guess is what I'll use, about its message. Sounds delightful. Wow. That is very liberal. Wow. To be fair, I have read many books. People who got very preachy about their stance on some very political views, and it wasn't very thinly veiled at all. Children or young teens or what? What is that book even supposed to be for? Who is that book even supposed to be for, is what I should say. Hi. I, is it just me, or did there used to be an entity display in the counter. I find it kind of ironic that the guy who says he doesn't get very political is the one who dragged us into political. But we don't need to go there. I just find it funny. Maybe I'm just crazy and there isn't actually an entity display. Yeah, like I said, I haven't read that, but I've read Oracles of Fire, and it is probably my favorite one. And if Dragon's Midst is that much better than it, then, or is better than it, then that's better than ever. I said better a lot. I'm sorry. Oh, so it's day 553, in case you're wondering. Okay. I'm not seeing any entity counter, am I? The 100 Cupboards, I've heard of it. I have not read it. Yeah, there's no entity. Well, that's a screenshot I don't need to save. But I feel like there's a few villagers there. And a panda, and my cows escaped. And yeah, basically all my animals have wandered. I didn't remember having 2 of these, but I guess I do. This is a terrible one. It's not very fast. It doesn't feel like it's... Yeah, it's not jumping very high. How about you? Well, at least it can jump 2 blocks. It seems faster. Do skeleton horses actually have less health than normal horses? Is that a thing? Or did it just get unlucky? I'm just derping around now because... Magician... Oh, that sounds exciting. Alright, which one of you wants to die? White, brown, tan... white one. Wait, that's a gray one. So 1 gray, 1 brown, 2 tan, and 2 white. I think one of you. Please stop shooting my horse. Okay, whatever. How does one leash a horse? Like, seriously, I thought... I know you can. Am I just being stupid? Okay, whatever. Okay, I guess you can. I'm just being a derp, I'm sure. However, that's probably going to be it. It's been a weird one. I don't think that this one should, yeah. I'm not too happy with the lack of progress in this episode, or really anything, because we really didn't do much. I feel like anyhow. So, if you enjoyed, please don't forget to hit the like button. If you really liked and want to show more support and want to, yeah, you just gotta put a leash on it. Easy for you to say. Anyway, subscribe and ring the bell so that way you get notified the next time I go live, which may or may not be this Friday, because I may or may not have an engine arriving. Maybe. So, I guess I'm gonna have to say peace out. Remember, always let your mountains be mountains. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Make the mountain. Whatever other gibberish you want. Bye.